Welcome back to the news. These are interesting times. The US courts ordered the FBI and the anti-drug agency to release investigation doses on Tinubu. This is interesting. The judge made the order saying that protecting this information from public disclosure is neither logical nor possible. So this is really interesting. But I hope the US court I hope they are not taking Nigerians for a ride because this is a very sensitive issue. And if they are ready to release the document, please, they should release the document because this would really help us in a long run. I know the APC may say, well, there is nothing to hide. After all, Tinubu will still win the 2027 election. It doesn't matter if the president is indicted or not. It doesn't matter if Tinubu was engaged in any drug-related activities or the other. I know that they are going to come out to defend the integrity of the president. But then I wonder, how can these people come out to defend this Tinubu's administration without looking like they don't know what they are talking about? See, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. I think it's high time, the people recognize that this would really go a long way. And the Chicago University, document should be next. Tinubu's Chicago University document should be next. All these things should be opened to Nigerians before the 2027 election. They should try as much as possible to expose these things to Nigerians before the 2027 election. And I really hope that the Americans are not playing with Nigerians' intelligence. I really hope they are going to release this document this time around because that was what they said the last time and they did not release the document. So if they want to release it, please, they should go ahead and release it. Nigerians should learn how to vote with integrity. Nigerians should vote for competence. Nigerians should vote for integrity. Nigerians should vote for good governance at polling units. Criminals, corrupt individuals should not be voted in. How can the people vote, how can they open their eyes and vote in a drug baron? Someone that has been, that has a bad record. Even the US were trying to hide this, but now it seems they want to release it. Well, these are interesting times ahead, and we really want to see where all this would end. It's remaining, I think the remaining one should be the Chicago University documents. I recall this particular investigative journalist, David, he has been trying very hard to see that these documents get published on to the public. He has been trying his possible best to make sure that these documents get released to Nigerians because David is an investigative journalist. He's a Nigerian investigative journalist that lives abroad, and he has been, he has always been emphasizing on this Tinubu's Chicago University saga, his drug case, and all of that. He has been the one exposing these things to Nigerians, although many people did not have knowledge on these things, not until the build-up of the 2023 election. So recently, the U.S. federal judge ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, and the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, to release investigative reports relating to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, stemming from a purported narcotics trafficking investigation in the 1990s. And according to the judge, he noted that the Nigerian government should not withhold these documents. They have no right to withhold these documents from the public. Because back then they were saying they didn't want this document to go public because they were trying to protect the image of the president. So the judge ruled that is neither logical. It is not logical. So the judge ruled affirming that both the FBI and the DEA failed to justify their refusal under the Freedom of Information Act. And the case was initiated by Aaron Greenspan, an American transparency advocate and a founder of plainsight.org, who filed a lawsuit in June 2023 after submitting 12 FOIA requests to various U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies. And these requests sought details of a federal investigation into heroin trafficking, networking, allegedly involving Tinubu and other persons in this case. So the Greenspan FOIA requests were earlier denied by the FBI, by the DEA, the Internal Revenue Service, the Department of State, the Executive Office for the U.S. Attorneys. They all, had earlier denied this. But this judge have said, see, it's time for this document to come out. It is very important for public interest, for people to know what's going on. He also cited a verified complaint filed by the U.S. Department of Justice in the 1990s, seeking the forfeiture of $460,000 in funds linked to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which the U.S. government alleged were proceeds of drug trafficking. So the court documents had noted that this should be released to the public. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? You see, before the 2023 election, the forfeiture of $460,000 US dollars in the 1993 resurfaced. That was during the build-up of the election. And many persons were questioning Tinubu's eligibility to campaign, to be voted in, because he was actually running for president by then. That was the electionary period. So other opponents were now using that particular forfeiture as a means to question Tinubu's eligibility for the election. However, the Nigerian Election Tribunal ultimately dismissed those challenges. The Nigerian Election Tribunal dismissed those charges, those questions, and that was how they died the issue. That was how they died the case. In fact, we heard nothing of that case after the tribunal died the issue. So now that they are trying to bring it up, it's actually nice so that Nigerians will know the kind of president they have. But then the truth is, even if they found the whole thing to be truth, that Tinubu is indeed a drug baron, the Nigerian courts will say otherwise, because the Supreme Court of Nigeria is owned by the sitting president. The files should be released. Let Nigerians know who their president truly is. The US with their bias attitude. Some people may say they don't need it. Some may say they need it. But they were asking them to tender it before the court during the 2023 Election Petition Tribunal, but they refused. So why are they bringing it up now? Guys, all these are reactions from Nigerians. We are growing increasingly wary of the protracted suspense. If the U.S. courts intends releasing the report, it should proceed without further delay and spare us the continued psychological strain. A similar promise was made in 2023, yet they never released any materials. And it is imperative for us to ascertain whether the nation's leadership is being controlled by a thief and a one-time notorious drug lord. The earlier we know, the better. Guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. One thing they should know is that they cannot cover the truth forever. Eventually, the truth will come out. So they should not toy with the intelligence of Nigerians. If they are truly sure that they want to release this, then they should go ahead and release it, because that was what they said, that was what they said before, that they were going to release it, and they did not release it. So please, 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 they should not toy with Nigerians and release the document. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section.